Hey guys, welcome to my first ever restoration video. What I have here is a 14-inch Porter cable bandsaw. I found this on Craigslist for a pretty decent deal, I should say. It works. The only issue it had was the blade was sort of rubbing, some rust, and the surface is rusted, so I gotta clean that up. And then a broken tire. So what better time for now to actually take this apart, clean it up, and then put it back together, and then take it for a test run and see how this thing works. Everything seems to be functioning. I don't see any wobble in the wheels. Apparently these are not easy to take out, but I'm gonna try to take these out. There's a little plate here, but I'm gonna fix that. You got a little plate. I mean, it's been used. So I'm gonna take this apart. I'm gonna take the tires out. I'm gonna replace the tires, put brand new tires on it, and let's see how this thing is gonna turn out. I'm gonna remove the entire thing, break everything down, sand everything down, give it a new paint, and go from there. So I'll see you guys in a couple months. Guys, I just wanted to show you how much rust is in the bottom of this saw. Look, this is supposedly the storage cabinet, and it's just nasty in there. So this also is gonna come apart, and I'm gonna restore the inside, clean it, paint it, and put it back together. So this part is off. I'm going to take this part out. I'm going to detach it from the base. The base is going to be gone. I'm just going to put wheels on the cabinet itself, and we'll see how that works out. All right, guys. So I was grinding. I was doing a job, and my grinder, angle grinder, decided to act weird. It made this like really bad noise inside, like internally is like kind of falling apart. Took it apart. I didn't see any broken gear, but I put it back together. I tightened the screws, and it does not sound good. I think it's the end of the rope for this guy. It's the cheap Chicago Electric Harbor Freight grinder. Yeah, I definitely I don't want to use this anymore. It's kind of scaring me. But you know what? In the past 12 years, this is the second one I've had to use. I've had to get rid of. The first one lasted me, I want to say, about 6 or 7 years, and this one about 5 years. But I used this one a lot more than the other one. And I have to say, I use this to actually cut a granite. I've gone really hard with this guy because as I got into more metal work and all that stuff, I started using the grinder more. So I definitely abused this one more than the other one. But for $20, it's not bad. It did its job for however long I've had it for. I'm definitely not going to compare it with DeWalt or other name brand products, but as a DIYer, it did its job. I have to say, it did its job. So now I'm gonna basically stop working on my project. I have to go buy another one. I'm now contemplating whether I should get another cheap one or actually spend some more on a newer one or a better one. So I will basically show you guys the comparison with the new grinder that I'm gonna get tomorrow. And by the time you guys see this video, I already have the new one, and I already put it to use. But I just want to show you guys the internal stuff of this grinder. It's very simply made, to be honest with you. It's plastic. It's a $20 grinder. Can't expect more from this grinder. Alright guys, so I took the saw apart, so of course I had to take the surface out too, because of all the rust it has on it. So I'm going to attempt to resurface this by using WD-40. First I'm gonna wipe it down a little bit. Then I have this old steel brush. You could also use steel wool or any the steel pan cleaners. You could use that as well to take most of the rust off. But you also need a lubricant to do that. So I am going to attach this to the drill, low speed, just go up and down, left and right, get as much rust as I can off, and then get into the restoration part of it. So it's gonna take a while. It'll probably take about an hour to get it to what I wanted, as far as like being clean, being take all the rust off from here, from this side, all this to get it ready for. I'm gonna paint the sides, but the top is gonna be pure steel. I'm not gonna paint the top. The top is gonna be pure steel. It's gonna be protected with oil. So stay tuned. I'm gonna get to this. Make sure you put your gloves on, and let's do this. Okay guys, you see the comparison between the two surfaces. This is before, this is after sanding. I'm using a low grade 320. Now I'm gonna switch over to a circular sander. I'm gonna use the same thing, high grit sandpaper, oil it up. I use an orbital sander to see if I could get this to shine even further. So it's very important to keep going around all over so you don't you don't dig into the surface too much. Alright guys, so I'm using the same thing. This is a 220 grit, so it's a little bit higher, a lower number, but it should work. It's still fine. You guys ready for this? You guys want to see what it's gonna look like? Let's do this. Guys, look at the difference. This was prior. This is just with a wire brush. This is with hand sanding, and this is with the orbital sanding. So imagine, I'm gonna go finish all this off, and the part is gonna be a little bit harder. It's gonna be the groove right here, but that's okay. As long as we could surface this, clean surface, make it look nice, make it look crisp. That's all I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish all this up, and we'll get to this later. What do you guys think? From what it was to what it is now? It's a great improvement, guys. Great method. It's very easy, a little bit messy, but man, you will get great result. I am going to do one more pass on this, just to see if I could get some of the imperfections out over here. And once I do that, we're gonna seal it. And I'm going to show you how to do that later. Be right back. Okay guys, the finish. This is finished. I got it as clean as I can. There's some spots in here that they're just stained. I can't get them off anymore, but this is as shiny as it can get. Make sure you get a clean towel. Clean the surface up as best as you can. And then, since this is now porous material, it's gonna rust again. So what you need is some finishing wax. It's just like polishing a car. So you're gonna put the finishing wax on this and let it sit for like a day. Then it'll be ready to use, and actually makes the surface even more smoother for your material to pass through. So let's put that on and use a clean rag. Hey guys, so this is the wheel for my 14-inch bandsaw, which as you can see is gonna need a new tire. I already cleaned this, got everything out, make sure there's no glue on it or anything. It's fully cleaned out, and what I'm gonna be using is these urethane tires. Now, these tires are not easy to put on, so as you can see, you have to stretch them out a lot to get it over the ring. So what can I do if I don't have a contraption to put it? What you're gonna need is some clamps, a screwdriver, or like a little flat-ended bar, something that's not gonna kind of rip this up. Anything will do, and some hot water. And the temperature desired for this, so what we're going to do, we're going to soak this in hot water for about 5 minutes at about 116 degree Fahrenheit up to 119 or 120. They say after 120 degrees this will not shrink back to its original size, and if it doesn't shrink back, then we have an issue. So I'm gonna run the tap water on the hot and get it to that 116 degree, 118 degree temperature. Fill up a bucket, put it in there, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then try to put it on this. So stay tuned. I'm adjusting the temperature to get it to that 116. A little bit more. There you go, 118. Once you 117, 118, that's perfect. So now, I'm going to fill this up. I'm going to check it one more time just to make sure the temperature is right. So it's about 115. I'm gonna put this in there. Put a cap on, and come back in 5 minutes. All right, so it's been 5 minutes. I'm going to dry this off. Although some people say you need to put some dish soap as well, but I didn't put dish soap. And this is how you're going to use the clamps. You're going to use the clamps in here to hold it in. Okay. Here comes the fun part, guys. Here comes the fun part. So now, let's see if I can Actually, I'm going to use these bigger clamps here. Alright. So I'm going to squeeze it in all the way. Obviously, this is a lot harder than it looks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep it out a little bit above the ring. So just to give me some leverage. And I'm gonna squeeze it in from the side and that didn't work. All right, so this worked, putting the leverage right here against the lip of the counter. I held it in and I was able to get it in, and you just go around, squeeze it into its groove, and Look at that. So I'm gonna do the other one and do the same thing. Let it sit in the hot water for about 5 minutes. And you know, you live and learn. You need a little leverage, so you clamp it all the way around, and the last one, you clamp it here. This way, the rubber and the tire is not gonna flip out because it's enough tension for it to keep it in place. So I'm gonna do the second one. This one and it went in much smoother. You don't need soap. Just soak it in hot water just a little bit and voila. This one actually went in a lot smoother, a lot easier because I just held it onto the corner. So let's go put it on the saw. Alright guys, she's done. Finally finished the saw project. And as you guys saw, cut a few pieces of wood. This is Brazilian cherry wood, so it's pretty hard wood. It went through this blade like butter. This is the blade that came with the saw. So far everything looks aligned. Rubbers are working fine. But as usually any of the materials that we have, any tools we have, dust collection is always an issue with these things. So there's dust everywhere. I even had the vacuum on. Let's see how much the vacuum captured. I would say a good amount, but you know, it's always good to clean this out. Don't let the wood shavings stay there because they'll eventually stay there permanently. So This is the inside cabinet. This actually takes shelves, so it's kind of cool. Overall experience, I'm very, very happy with this. I probably have to make some adjustments. This one just sits. This sits a little higher than. It's not flat with the surface, so I'll probably have to make another one that's a little bit flatter. But overall, guys, it was a good experience. I didn't spend. The only expense I had was my grinder going out and the tires for the wheel. That's the only expense I had. I am planning, well, and the spray paint, I should say. So overall cost probably like, I want to say it's about $30 to restore this whole thing. It wasn't bad. It wasn't too expensive. It was just a little time consuming. It was really, really rusted, as you guys saw. So it needed some more attention. But it works. I think the blade has a little warp in it. That's why you keep hearing that little, clinking noise. But overall, it wasn't bad. This let me show you guys from the back. This is the back of it. This if you guys haven't noticed, blue is my favorite color, so I wanted to paint it blue. Make it my own type of thing. Blue and gray kind of go together. If you haven't noticed my shed, I have a lot of blue in here as well. Blue, gray, and white. That's like seems to be the color scheme here. So, but overall experience, guys, it was a great project. It was a good buy. I got this thing for $200, so it wasn't a bad deal. It was just rusted. Everything worked. But unfortunately, I did a test run on it, and the tire broke off. So it was old. It was dried. So these tires kind of dry out depending on the environment they're in. So, you can't find these for less than $400 or $500 if they're in a really good shape. So if you actually see one that has a lot of rust on it, as long as the motor works, and there's no wobble in the wheels, it's gold mine. And these will last you a long time. It's a cast iron body. There's a lot of replacement parts for these, and yeah. So leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think, guys. I think it was a good purchase. $200 plus about $30 worth of spray paint. Sorry, I'll take that back. It was $30 worth of spray paint and $30 for the tires. So $60, $260 overall cost for me, and some time. Took me about I want to say about 8 hours worth of restoration. About 8 hours, because I took almost everything off, to include the motor housing and all that stuff. So if you can see, I took everything off. I painted it. I cleaned it. So I had to polish this. This wasn't bad. This took maybe like an hour. So, but yeah. So let me know what you guys think. Peace out.